First of all, how good did it feel to get that new contract off?
Felt pretty good. Glad I was able to get done sooner than later, and yeah, just happy to be back here. Obviously, didn't have any other intentions going anywhere else, so want to be here, and I'm just glad I got done.
What do you see as kind of the next steps in your game for you to take this year?
I think just playing a bigger role. Obviously, I want to up my game in every situation, every opportunity that I'm given. Definitely want to take advantage of that, but I think just my overall game, keep striding in the right direction. I think being more consistent every night. Just bringing that energy, night in and night out. But yeah, obviously I want to be a part of what's going on here. Want to be part of this, this trend moving forward, and I think we got something good going on. So I definitely want to be a part of that.
Skating with Mazur and Nygaard of late, what stood out to you about the two of them throughout camp?
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't know them, too well, but just by seeing them, obviously, I think Mazur, obviously a bigger boy, he's not scared to, battle in the corners and competes really hard. Always gives that extra effort, just like, that assist that he had the other night. He's just kind of relentless on the puck. Got some good skills in tight, got a good shot, and Nygaard's kind of built pretty thick. He's a thick boy. Can move really well. Can definitely shoot the puck. I think it's one thing I've really noticed. But I'm glad to get the opportunity to play with those two tonight. But yeah, they're obviously really good young players.
Joe, just how do you balance just offense and defense? Obviously, you like to produce a little bit more, but not at the expense of your defensive game. What's just kind of the juggling act there?
Yeah, I think you just gotta. I think it's all about anticipation and reading the play and knowing when to be above guys and when to get those opportunities offensively. I think I've always been taught that if you're well positioned defensively, if you don't cheat the game, then the offense will come to you, and if you're always in the right spot, somehow you'll be open, and guys will find you. So I think just always being in the right spots defensively will lead to good offense, and sometimes it even surprise you. Sometimes you're in a good spot defensively, and then next thing a couple seconds later, you're getting a grade A chance in front of the net. So just try to be patient with my offensive game, and obviously want to be responsible defensively, because I think that's what gets you on the ice more, and with being on the ice more, it gets you more opportunities. So I think just being patient defensively, and I think the offense will come with being in the right spots defensively.
A couple guys, and Derek mentioned how this camp has been the toughest, most intense. You've been to a few of these now. How does this compare as far as that, just the intensity?
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, it's definitely one of the hardest camps so far that I've been a part of. Obviously, I think that's the goal at the end of the day, is to get that compete back up, and to start working and start building for the season. So I really like that. Obviously, for myself, I'm a hard worker. I love working hard and competing with the guys. But yeah, it's meant to be tough, and I'm glad that other guys are noticing that too, and it means we're all working hard and building for something.
As a player, what for you makes a camp tough? Is it the skating, physicality, something else?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Obviously, it's the pace of the practice, the compete, the physicality, the skating, and the conditioning. So all those things play a big factor. But yeah, it's meant to be tough. Obviously, summer skates are not the same as training camp. So regardless of how many skates you've done in the summer, and even if you're battling out in the summer, nothing beats training camp. You get to training camp, and after one day you're feeling the body already. You're feeling the groins, the hips, and but yeah, it's all good to get that out of the way. But it's been a good hard training camp so far.
Sort of on that topic, as you try to make the most out of these games, how do you approach the fact that whether within your own lineup or the other team, there tends to be a pretty big divide between the NHL veteran type players and the younger guys who are probably more likely to go to the AHL?
Yeah, obviously we're a lot of guys at camp, and you're going up against sometimes that younger kids that you don't really know, and other prospects or guys coming from other teams, but I think it's good for those guys to also compete with the NHL players, guys that are regulars in the NHL, and guys that are either younger guys that are coming up, prospects, or guys who play in the American League to compete with each other. Obviously, that's the main goal, is to compete in these situations. Training camp, it's all about compete and to get that up there. So I think it's good for everyone to be battling with each other, and yeah.
Those games late last season were the first with that level of stakes you've had in the NHL. What did you learn from them, and how much did you kind of think about them and all of that this summer?
Yeah, it was definitely hard to reflect a little bit on that, with the way it ended last year. I think we were all pretty disappointed, and knowing how close we could have been to playing in the playoffs. Definitely hurt over the summer, just watching playoff hockey and looking at the TV and saying, this could have been us or whatever. But it's a new year now. We gotta we got things to work on. We know that there's a slight difference now on whether you make it or not. We had over 90 points last year, and we still didn't get to the playoffs. So it might be this year just getting that extra win, or getting to overtime maybe. And it was definitely hard, but I think we're all looking forward to this year, and we know that we can be there again in that situation, if not be even better. So I think we're all gonna give it that extra step this year, and even you guys coming from other teams, knowing what we went through last year. I think big reason why they came here is knowing that we're able to get to that spot, and do something really good this year. So we're all excited. We all feel that way, and we're all ready for it.
The desperation that you guys were able to kind of play with in those games, I'm sure it's really hard to tap into in October, for example.
Yeah.
But what can you kind of tap into to find that extra gear even early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, look, last year didn't feel like too long ago for me. So time goes by quick, and I still have every single memory of those last stretch of games last year. But yeah, look, you just want to obviously start off strong. Obviously start by playing the right way, managing the puck, things that you can control, and then the rest of the game will just take care of itself, by competing and making plays and all that stuff. So it might take a few games, few practices here and there to kind of get back into the rhythm of actually playing at NHL pace. But for the most part, obviously our pace has been pretty good in practices, and obviously 2 exhibition games now. We won both games, but we're still improving. We're still working on our game, and still trying to get up to that pace that we know we can play at. So yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It was tough missing last year, so to finally get into that groove and feel what training camp's really like has been really fun. And also getting to know all the guys, seeing Patrick Kane on the ice is pretty special, Dylan Larkin, and just taking things from those guys has been pretty awesome so far.
I know putting on mass was a big focus for you. What was kind of your secret to doing that, and are you pretty happy with where you're at?
Yeah, I'm very happy with how much I gained over the offseason. That was a major factor in how I needed to grow my game and get bigger and stronger. I was here all summer working with Rob, so Rob put me in a really good spot for the season, and look forward to continuing that with him.
How much did you gain, and how much of a difference have you seen in the one preseason game and in practices so far, as battling in front of the net and in the hard areas?
Yeah, I gained around 13 pounds, so it was all muscle too, so that's another good sign. But it was a lot of work to get to that point. It's now work to maintain it for the whole year. It's going to be pretty hard to do, but that's something that me and Rob and Lisa can talk about. But I feel like it's helping me a lot. I felt in the game. I felt stronger on my feet. I feel faster. Every part of my game just feels better because of the 13 extra pounds I have.
Is maintaining it just a matter of your diet, eating, making sure you're taking enough calories? Is that what?
Yeah, it's mostly just eating as much as I can. It's pretty simple, but it is hard during the year, especially skating every single day, playing games. You do lose a lot of calories when you're on the ice. So, but it's just maintaining it and making sure I'm eating on the right times and eating enough for sure.
How much confidence does it give you going into camp to know you're coming off this summer that you're very proud of?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence for sure. I had confidence in the playoffs last year in the AHL, building off that, and then adding that weight. That's a big factor in me not making the team or making the team. It is a little thing, but it's something that really adds to my game. That's how I play. I want to be heavy. I want to be physical. Even if I'm not 200 pounds, I still think I can do that at 188. So it adds a lot of confidence to my game, and I feel very comfortable where I'm at.
Looks like you're going to get a good opportunity potentially on the power play tonight, assuming there is a power play tonight. What is it going to be like to play with some of those guys?
Yeah, the way I kind of look at it as it's an opportunity for sure to show what I can do net front. I feel like that's a spot where I'm really good at, and I succeeded throughout the year last year. And being on a power play unit with Larkin, Kane, DeBrincat, all those guys, it's pretty easy. All I have to do is stand and take the goalie's eyes and let them do all the work. But I look forward to working with those guys.
So being here in the summer, I assume you got to be skating with some of those guys too. Does it help to have a little chemistry with that?
Yeah, we got to know them a little bit. We went to the Michigan football game and just talking to them around the rink, it's pretty nice. They're really easygoing guys, and they all been through what I've been going through too. So it's easy to talk to those guys and kind of pick their brains about what they think and what they see, and it's just pretty nice to have them around.
Have there been any particular lessons that stand out from any of those guys?
I would say not any particular, but it's just so easy to pick things up on the ice. It's easy to see how they go by their day by day and how they carry themselves away from the rink and at the rink. It's just something that you're a good enough hockey player, you're in this position for a reason. So just watching them and then taking little things from their games and adding it to your game will just make you better.
How important was that run last year with the Griffins down the stretch and then getting some pressure playoff games?
Yeah, it was really good. It was a fun, I think, 9 games we played. It was really awesome to see how our team really responded. We started the year off really bad and then kind of turned it around near December, and then to get rewarded with the playoff run that we did have, even though it did end pretty short, I think we were in a good spot. And then I would say it was just a time for growth for a bunch of young guys. I feel like we stepped up in the right moments, and that was what we were told to do, and we did it.
You saw Marco go through that same process with you, and now he's here with you too. What have you seen in his game this training camp so far?
Yeah, he also has gotten bigger and stronger. I can tell he's a player that can really change a game on the physical side and offensive side. He's using his speed pretty well. In the first preseason game, he was a really standout guy. I thought he did all the little things the right way. He's not making mistakes, and he's just a really good hockey player. He's someone that's also fun to play with. I played with him a couple games, and he's just really fun to be around as well. He's just a great guy, and I look forward to seeing what he can do.
Does it make it more comfortable to have teammates here that you went through that with, and now you can kind of push each other in this environment?
Yeah, it's a lot easier, especially this year in training camp, being around those guys because you're pretty close with them, especially going through that AHL playoff run. But being around him has been pretty fun. We've been hanging out a lot, so just getting to know him more than just on the ice rink and how they are as a person is probably the most important part, I think.
Was there anything about that full-time transition from college to pro hockey that surprised you last year?
Yeah, I would say actually the time off. Like with college, you really don't have that much time off, so you're mainly focused on school and hockey, but just focus on hockey I felt like was really good for me. I felt like it was time to leave Denver, even though they did win. It was kind of tough to see that, but not really because I'm happy for them. But it's been a difference for sure. It's taking care of your body the right way and just making sure you're prepared every single game to bring it.